Signing in a little bit early. Let me see if I can get. Yes, a little bit early here, but lots of stuff to go through today. Hmm. Oh, dang it. Mm-mm-mm. Whoops. Okay, hi folks. Sorry, I was just looking around in here. I have some things to talk about today, and I wanted to literally was going to wait um, till Sunday this week, but I can't now because um, I've been doing my due diligence to answer all the messages. I think I had like almost 200 the other day, and I've been trying to do some research into the questions that I get or the statements that I get. Um, I want to make it clear that this food for action live stream that I came up with was born out of a sadness and a hurt and a pain and um, and and an anger and a frustration with society and some of the racial things that are going on, and so I literally was going to type something the first night. I wasn't even there wasn't going to be me talking to anybody, and for some reason I couldn't type, and then I ended up I mean excuse me couldn't talk type, and then I ended up saying just pressing the live button, and I just started talking, and I don't even remember everything I said, but I know that the emotions of all of the things that have happened lately in our community definitely hit me in a way that I had to say something. So I've done three of these so far, and great response, and there's so many people that are engaging in the conversation uh, about racism and um, about the race relationships relations in America, and I invite everybody to join in. I invite everybody from every walk of life, from every vantage point, every viewpoint, every. I want all your thoughts, all your opinions, all your the things that you research, everything. I'm inviting people. This is supposed to be a platform where people can come and. And no matter where you're from and what you believe, you can come and you can express it so that we have start building another outlet, another community of people that are coexisting. And, and if for some reason, because of your beliefs, you don't love everybody, you just are, I don't know, whatever that is, then we still at least have a platform to communicate what we believe, why we believe it. But more importantly, we can listen to what everybody else is saying. That's why when I post some of these things, I always say that this is a platform where everyone can hear and be heard. Here, I always say here first because that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be having some uh, type of humbleness, no matter how strongly you believe in what you believe in. We still have to give each other a chance to speak so that we can understand what the next woman or man is going through. And maybe it breaks a barrier. Maybe it breaks the wall down. But what I'm finding is that a lot of times people aren't doing that. We're not listening to what other people are saying. We're just wanting to say our thing and what we believe in, and then chastise and bully and call names. I'm telling you that I tried to express this on the first time I did this, that it is supposed to be a loving, peaceful platform for people to talk and express themselves no matter what you believe in. If you believe in hate and you have a reason for it, tell us why. If you believe in love, tell us why. If you believe in God, tell us why. If you believe in Allah, tell us why. If you believe in a head of lettuce, tell us why. But not for a platform for people to bully each other and curse at each other and take this stance as everything that you're saying and you're doing is right, because I'm not taking that. And I'm the person who initiated this based on what I was going through at the moment. And I created a platform, another outlet. There's millions of them. You can go to anyone you want to. If you choose me, that's awesome. But it's a platform for people to get together and understand and listen to each other. We can be heard, but we also have to hear. And what I found over this past week after the Father's Day live stream is that I went in and I wasn't feeling good. I have chronic Lyme disease, so most people who know me understand that I fight the debilitating muscle pain, headaches every day. That's why I wear these kind of glasses. They're a prescription shade glass. It's not me trying to be cool, but and so I was feeling horrible, and so what I did was I chose to stay off of typing and whatever. I just wanted to go and read through some of the things that everybody was discussing amongst each other. And I found so many awesome things, and people sending me things about, hey, check this out and see if, about this. And everybody wants to change each other's minds. It's supposed to be that way. That's what if we believe in something hard enough and deep enough, then we want other people to hopefully gravitate towards that as well. The problem is, hey, Megan, hey, Kathy, the problem that we're having, though, is that when I go on there and I'm going to read these things and we're giving people an opportunity to speak to each other and create this platform, and then you're bullying people and you're cursing at people and you're saying nasty, demeaning things to people, when you're doing that, that ain't going to be going down on this here site. So if that's where you're coming from, if you are what they used to term back when I was growing up, when I was a kid, is if you're stubborn in your ways and that's all you want, then there's plenty of platforms for you to go to. But if you're going to be here, if you're going to discuss with us, then you have to have an open mind and you have to have an ability to humble yourself and give the things that other people are saying to you and expressing to you a chance. You cannot sit there and just, it's all about you, because it ain't. It's not about me. It's not about Megan or Kathy or whoever else is out there. It's about us. It's about the people that God created. If you believe something else, and it was whatever, an explosion or something, whatever you believe in, it's about that way that things came to be. And it is not about you and the way you feel about it, and that's it. And that's the end all be all. And then you're going to sit there and you're going to talk trash to people, and people that I love. And I'm not even about that. So when I created this and I'm watching people that I love and they're sitting there and they're enduring this kind of speak from some people, trust me, if I see that stuff again, those people are definitely getting unfriended, unliked, and everything else, and have a blast wherever you want to go with that. Trust it. But I have to emphasize this again. I took the time to read each and every message that everybody sent me. Even when I don't answer some of them, I read them. And I look up the things that you asked me to look up. Some people I'm able to respond to. Some people I'm not. I'm feeling good. Sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I just kind of read through stuff and I'm like, okay, let me go to this website, that website. And I always look at things from every angle that I can. I'll go for the left leaning and the right leaning if people want to be political, and then I go to the mean and the hate and try to understand from different of those websites of why they're that way and where did those thoughts and those principles come from. And then obviously I believe in God, so I seek what godly principles relate to the things that you're bringing up, and that's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what every person is supposed to be willing to do. If you come in on here and it's just about you and you don't want to hear anything else that anybody else has to say, then please do us a favor. We will love you from a distance. That's what my old pastor used to say. We love everybody like that from a distance. Please take hateful things and hateful speech and bullying and accosting and all that stuff. Take that to another place and leave it there, and please don't bring it back here. If I see you, if I read through it, and trust me, I will take the time to read everything. And I got a couple of friends of mine that are on here, and I'm sure they'll read them and point it out to me if I miss something. And if I do, then we're just gonna lovingly say goodbye to you guys, and then boom, we'll have all the people here who are ready to take this life and the trials and the tribulations that we're dealing with, and we're going and then we'll deal with those together. But let me also now branch off from that, because I think that everybody would understand that at this point. And if you're not live and you're seeing this later, I'm sure I said enough that everybody understands that part about it. There's a second part, which may supposed to be the first part. Like I said, I started this because of a way that something hit me because of the life that I've lived as a black man, and the things that I've had to endure and watch my father endure and watch our family endure and watch my neighborhood endure and watch so many other people endure and watch murders and killings and oppression and all the things of 51 years of life that I've seen of in racial terms, I've in racism terms, I've seen those things, and it's come to a crazy balloon and a whatever explosion right now, and it hurt me and it made me cry, and I wanted to create something that can help people understand what black people are talking about when we're trying to express this stuff that we've tried to express for years, but all of a sudden now people are somehow paying attention, and then other people just hate it. Either way, that's what this is about. This is a platform, first, as I said, for everybody to express their views. But I created this first and foremost with the underlining thing of being able to communicate to everybody through the black viewpoint and vantage point of this whole experience that we're going through as a nation right now, the state of America. And so I'm hoping that everybody would respect that as well, because I'm listening to your stuff, and I'm listening to everybody's things, and I'm looking up everybody's things, and trust me, I'll use it online if I can in any way, shape, or form, and I'll pass it up. I'll post it on the website or Instagram or wherever else, so that way anybody else wants to look at these things too, they can have access. That's awesome. Love it. Great. But I did first and foremost come on here to tell you the pain as a black man that I am feeling and that I know my community is feeling. So, that being said, please respect that in a way where at the same time I don't want everybody to think that I'm going to change that from being the main foundation of the message, because when I'm speaking about things, that's usually where I'm coming from. And because I'm the host of this, I would hope that everybody would respect that. I'm going to listen to you. I want you to write. I want you to send messages, and I want you to call me. I gave you guys my phone number. You guys got my phone number. You can call me. You can communicate with me in so many ways. It's crazy. And I will accept all of those ways, and I will engage in all of those ways if you want me to do so. And if you choose to do so, that's awesome. But just remember that I'm not going to change my underlying message because somebody doesn't like it. That's not what this is about. So please, everybody respect each other and the roles that everybody is playing in their lives and so on. And let's communicate. Let's get it rolling. I said on my last one of my posts, I said, the primary purpose is for all of us to acknowledge the racial divide, divisiveness, racism, prejudice, racial violence, racial prejudice, and the systemic racism in this country. That's kind of the foundation of where I'm coming from, and then I will gladly and openly listen to everybody else's points of views as well. But I'm asking you to understand me and my community, my, I guess in the United States, in my race, black people. I'm asking you to understand that, and then I will welcome everything that you want to tell me about whatever viewpoint you have that you want to bring this way. Awesome, that's great. Just keep it, PG. Let me say that as well. There are teenagers that come on here. There are teenagers, and I haven't had no real little people yet, but I have, I know that I have messages that I've gotten from teenagers. I don't definitely don't want all that yucky back and forth bullying and all that yuck language happening when we're trying to also have children engaged in this as well, young folks engaged, because that's not cool. There's nothing that makes that acceptable whatsoever. So let it be about peace and love and communication and understanding, and that's where it needs to stay. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm going to do is anybody that has written questions, I see the number keeps on going back and forth from 5 to 4 to 6 to 7, 4 to whatever. So if anybody does pop in, or if you watch this after we're done, if you want to, let me know that you're there, or send me a message so that I know that you're there. Text me or make my phone ring because it's sitting right here too, and then I can address the questions that you asked, or else I'm just going to go by what I have at the top of my notes. So again, if you have a question, if you have a thought, if you have whatever, and something that you would like to talk about, then bring it my way on a message on here, or a text message on my phone, or you can even call me. And that might be kind of rude during this. I don't know what everybody would think, but you can if you want to, and we'll make it all work, as long as it really is about understanding each other, and it has to be that way. Let's see. I wanted to talk. So somebody brought up, more than one somebody, but somebody was very aggressive in bringing up the fact that they had, I don't know who told them in the first place, but they found out that one of the founders of the Black Lives Matters, hashtag Black Lives Matters, origin, founder of that, had their what, how they built their, I don't know, I don't even now I'm stuck a little bit. Their foundation, thanks. Their foundation was built off of Marxism. So obviously, I have heard this as well, and so I wanted to do some digging, and I did the homework, which is what I hope everybody's going to do. So I want to explain a few things, and if I leave anything out, anybody still has a question, let me know. So, as we hopefully everybody understands, for anybody who doesn't know, Marxism. I can't hate to say it, but by the Karl Marx, I think his name was, but his belief was that, it was kind of a belief that monopolies, or that's not the word that I'm looking for, but what's the hold on, let me see if I put it in my notes. Capitalism. That's it. So capitalism, to Marxists, is a bad thing. They believe more that a a a a person that is marginalized, or oppressed, or whenever there's a hierarchy that is stepping on the throats of the quote unquote less than, then they believe that should not be the way that things are. They believe that everyone should have ownership of this productive part of creation, wealth, community, and so on. That there should not be this capitalistic thing that holds everybody else down, and in other words, there becomes people that basically is just getting. I'm sorry, my vocabulary is kicking my butt after that emotion just now. So sorry about that. But let's see if I have the word here. Um, well, let's see. Oh, exploited. That's it. Thank you. So believes that ends up being the way that that happens in capitalism is that there becomes a whole section of society that is exploited and oppressed, and so Marxism doesn't want that. Yet some believe that if you're a true Marxist, that it eventually leads to socialism, then leads to communism. Now, it depends on how people are looking at that. But what I learned after further delving into this is that yes, they stole some concepts of Marxism, which are the concepts of because those founders are black women and and this is going to really get expanded, but first let me address the first part. Because they were black women from black people, they were they were expressing they wanted to have an outlet, especially after all the police killings of black men and black women and black children or black youth. Then they wanted to have a voice in a way to say, hey, we should have as black people, we should have be able to form this in some of those principles, not totally becoming that, but using the principles that they learned when studying the Marxism, that they would use the principles of saying, we don't want to just be the people that are downtrodden, and every now and then one of us gets a a platinum record, or one of us becomes a CEO, or one of us becomes this, or one of us becomes that, or we're looked at as just your entertainment as far as sports, or where most of the sports leagues except soccer and hockey and tennis, most of them are 75% black people, but yet we have no ownership. And so, except for Michael Jordan. So, and there's another guy that's from Canada, from Toronto, whatever they're called, Raptors. Yeah. But the point is that it shouldn't be just a one-off here and there. Their viewpoint is saying, as Marxists say, that there should be a way that we can have a comeuppance to get out of this oppressed part and out of the exploited part, and be able to have ownership of what we're doing. And that ownership is not readily available in most inner cities or predominantly black communities now. And that's because of the systemic racism that has taken place all of these years that nobody was paying attention to, just thinking that people were looking for handouts. So you know so you have to, when you find something like that, you got to keep doing the research to make sure that you're understanding what's happening. Now, I will continue after explaining that they weren't literally trying to make Black Lives Matter be a Marxist movement. They were taking some of the principles in order for black people to come up and to feel strength and to join together and to feel strong and to seek one purpose of ownership and equality, that there would be no one above black people that can just put the heel in the neck to stop people from moving forward, as there are in so many of our avenues of workforce and so on today, and economics. So, but what they did do is that I believe that two of the three ladies, it might be all three, but two of the ladies I know of are also gay or lesbian, whichever term you prefer. And they also then included that as part of their mission as well. So they started creating these other branches that catered more towards their gay and lesbian thing as well. So what you have then is you have people looking at all of those different offshoots, and it became a little bit convoluted. But what also happened at the same time is that the Black Lives Matter became co-opted by other black groups or other black groups of people, I'll say, but also other people. For example, Blue Lives Matter, or Gay Lives Matter, or um, whatever else, All People Matter, and all that stuff. When really the first and foremost part that 99% of black people are looking at now is literally about not being oppressed, not being killed, having the same uh, chances, the same percentages to achieve, the same opportunities, the same financial structures, wealth structures, the same, just in other words, the same. And to be recognized as the same, or not to be recognized as less than. And literally, we literally do walk around, even when we have smiles on our faces, we, the majority of us who are trying to be proactive, who are doing the best to be productive and proactive, we still have to be cautious when we move in certain places, in certain avenues, in certain arenas, because we know that since I was a kid, that there's certain, there's a level that you can go to, and unless obviously in music you have a little bit more leeway, but there's a level, and once you get to that level, oops, you know that you gotta be on your toes. It's like walking on eggshells. And but also there's the power structure, which also does this. It also we have less advantages. Our schools are less. Our the economic structure in our communities, or in inner city communities, are less. Um, there's the amount of monies that are filtered through most inner cities, and the upkeep of those cities, of the schools, of the businesses, or the ability to create them, is just way less. And so it becomes a vicious cycle of some people can get out, but most of the people are stuck. That's why there are things called projects, and there are things, the housing developments, which there's not enough of these days. But and so you kind of get stuck in this. This is where we are. And that's why there becomes so much friction within the community as well, because they don't see a way out. There's no way out of the community. We were fortunate in my family that my dad was a musician and amazing superhero, my mom, and so on. And so we were able to experience different communities. Sorry about the hand movements, but my mother, we had times in our lives where we lived in predominantly white neighborhoods, where hoity-toity, a number one, and then we had other times where we lived in lesser than, but and just in black communities where it was lesser than in so many ways. I mean, schools falling apart. Uh, uh, you know, the school, the lunches, and the classrooms, and the technology just was horrible. And then we'd move to another area, and we'd be in a predominantly white area, and it'd be like, oh my gosh, everybody gets a computer? What? Everybody gets a book? So these things really happen. It's not just stories that people are telling you. And you know those things have to be acknowledged. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this, of saying that there is the foundation of one of the foundations of why I wanted to do this, is because those things are real. People that see me all the time would probably never guess that those things are things that I had to deal with, because they never asked, and I may have at some point felt it not appropriate or whatever. But if they were close enough to me in the inner circle or whatever, then I would tell them, and they'd be like, "What? No, I can't believe that," because of the way that we have to train ourselves to walk a certain way, as to not portray. They always, because the minute you start talking about it, then everybody says you're just playing the race card. And I'm like, race card? It's not a card. It's a people. It's people, and it's reality, and if anybody doubts that by now, after everything that's been going on lately, I don't know what you're doing. You're not looking and you're not listening. And but if you do, doubt it. And we can all get together. We can plan an outing, and I could take everybody in the hood so you could see what's happening, and then discover it for yourself. Or I'm sure you might have some black coworkers. Maybe they would take you. But my point is that you know, and it's not even just when you live in the hood, because even if you live in the suburbs, uh, there's still a difference in the way that you're treated. There's still a difference in the access that you get to certain avenues economically. It's so important that people understand that it is not just a given that because you and I have the same job, that I'm going to get the same loan that you get. It doesn't work like that, and and it's better than it was probably when my folks were little, but it's not the same, and people don't see that. It's like we have to bleed on the ground for you to say, oh my gosh, he's bleeding. It's like, why does it have to be such an extent before people say, oh yeah, uh that does happen to them? And that's because people are, for the most part, I know everybody sees it. People are, especially now with technology, people are walking with their eyes closed, man. Walking down the street, just typing and typing, not looking up. They could be walking into a train and wouldn't know it, as long as they could get the next text out. So it's really bizarre. But also, that technology has also provided us with everybody with a camera, and so now you're able to see some of the things that you didn't get to see before. Even whether you wanted to see it or not, you're getting to see it now. And if anybody has more questions about that and the Black Lives Matter thing, please feel free to talk to me. We can, message me, or talk to amongst, like, again, continue talking amongst each other, like you've been doing, and but just keep it, keep it cool, keep it love, keep it sweet, keep it nice, because everybody's learning stuff now, and hopefully everybody that comes on here is not coming on here to just be a bully or a jerk or whatever. Hopefully the people that are coming on here or who are watching the videos later, they're doing it because they want to learn, or they want to know, or they want you to know, or they got a question, and so just engage with each other in that peaceful, loving, awesome way. Okay, so um, so just so you'll know, a couple notes. Starting next week, until the day that my last breath comes, I will be doing this every Wednesday and every Sunday. It will not be just Sunday because it's too long between times and too many people are asking questions and talking about things, and I want to be able to jump in there and help the communication uh, stay there. Hopefully, I have the ability to do that. And then let's see. Also, starting next week, I will also have one or two guests on each time that I do this. So I will let it be a surprise for the first one, and some of you may end up talking to me. Also, if anybody feels like they want to, I keep on looking at my screen over here, so please, I'm not trying to, not look in the camera. It's just the positioning of things. So, anyways, but if anybody feels like they want to express something on here live and they want to jump on, please call me. Again, my phone number is on my Facebook page. And make sure you guys are checking out the page that I opened up for this for Food for Action. It's attached to my page that you're on now, and also check out Instagram. And then every video will go to YouTube as well. So if you want to tell somebody about it, or if you have some friends and you're like trying to talk about this and you want to punch in, then it is on YouTube as well. I'm doing my best to learn how to do this stuff so that I can. I mean, I've been a musician all my life, and then I got sick, and so so I get to play every once in a while. But as far as this whole utilizing technology is so new to me. It's crazy. See how old it made me? Like, my beard is like crazy. I look like a caveman now just because of this. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, so it'll be every Wednesday. I think I'm going to start doing all of them at 6:30 because I know different sports are trying to come back. So 6:30 might be a safer time than 7. But again, if you guys have opinions about that or any thoughts, let me know that. I want everything here to be an all-inclusive, everybody, communication party. I want it to be that. So let's see what else. Um, so I want to say two things, and then I'm gonna be out of here because I know you guys are tired of me. So, um, one thing I want to remind everybody is that we are still in the midst of the pandemic. Uh, it doesn't matter what anybody says. If anybody says that it's not happening still, it is happening still. 5,000 and, oh, excuse me, 7,000 and something new cases in California today. It's still happening. It's the numbers have risen in Texas, Arizona, South Carolina, North Carolina. Shoot, I didn't memorize those, but I just know that those. So those are some of them. But I think it's 20 states now have a rise in the numbers of infected, which also means because a lot of people try to tell you that we have a bunch of infected, but we don't have deaths. But that's the point. What happens is first people get sick, and then they go to the hospital if they need to, or they realize that they need to, and then that's unfortunately when most people, if they bodies can't take it, they pass away, and we don't want any more of that. But that is still happening, and if you just open up your eyes and turn on any news station, you will see that the coronavirus is still very crazily active, crazily infecting people, and please take precautions. Use your social distancing, use your masks. When you don't need to be out, don't be out. Protect each other. Remember this. This is not what this forum is for, but I have to say, this is not about you. So if you're healthy, like me, I got tested, and because I started coughing and whatever else, and I got tested, and it came back negative, so which was awesome, praise God. But some people have the disease and don't have symptoms. That's called asymptomatic. And if you are asymptomatic, then you still can infect other people. So if you're feeling like you don't want to wear a mask because you don't feel like you need it because whatever, if you're going to be around other people, remember that they might need you to have it on because they don't feel like getting the disease. And maybe they're not asymptomatic, and maybe they're susceptible to it. So you have to be willing to do this for each other. For each other. Look, hopefully, I don't believe in hating people, and I hope you don't either. But if you do hate people and you feel like just stay away from them, and then be around your people, close people, stay in close knitted wherever you want to be, and be social distancing and practicing the safe stuff. Okay, that's the end of that. Now, there is a pandemic, but I want you to know there is also a humandemic. That's right, a woman and mandemic. And that is what we're dealing with right now. So that might be my next catchphrase. I don't know. But remember that. We have to understand that there are issues in this world. And they are of a racist nature, and we have to be willing to accept that those things exist, and we have to be willing to acknowledge it, and have to be willing to accept responsibility for how you approach life after you acknowledge that. After you see it happening, or after somebody shows it to you, you have to be willing to change something, to turn some kind of page so that you can then start being part of the cure instead of part of the problem. Now, for the other people who say, oh, well, it doesn't relate to me, I'm not racist, and I'm not this, and I'm not that, and I'm not pro this, and I'm not pro whatever, There's no such thing as straddling the fence. There's no such thing as being quiet. There's no such thing as silence, as you've heard all over the TV. Silence is violence and all that stuff that people say. The point is that if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Period. That's for everybody. If we're not doing, except for little babies. Now, if you got a little baby, baby can't do nothing. Baby make you smile. Baby make everybody smile. But if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Now, hopefully, we are going to keep this going with each other. I thank everybody who's tuned in. If you didn't get to catch it all, please, I'll have them up online as soon as I'm done here. I'll have it on Facebook. I'll have a link, Instagram, and on my page for Food for Action. But that is what this is called, and I hope that we're going to be on a true path to a united state in America. I thank you all. I love you all. Tune in again Sunday when we'll have more to talk about. Please engage with each other. Make sure that you engage with me as well. Write messages. My phone number is on my Facebook, so you can call or text me, or you can messenger me, or whatever you want in order to get in touch with me, so that we can all engage together and find understanding and find proactivity and productiveness and so on. But until the next time, I love you guys. I don't know where I'm looking again. I'll get used to that, but I love you guys. I'll see you Sunday, 7 p.m. Or excuse me, 6:30 p.m. I forgot to change that. Actually, this week we'll keep it 7 since everybody knows that. So this week we'll see you at 7 p.m.